A short story. The little girl heard him, coming up the stairs. She was petrified. There was nowhere to hide. The girl ran to her bedroom, to escape him. She closed the door, then hid behind the untidy bed. Footsteps echoed, as the man proceeded down the landing. "Where are you, you pathetic child?" he yelled. "Please don't find me, Daddy," she thought, knowing she'd been in this situation many times, and it always ended badly. The door to the room was pushed open, as it hit the wall noisily. The child closed her eyes, and said a little prayer. The man stumbled to the bed, kicking the side of it, while saying in a raised voice, "When I find you, you're in big trouble, girl." She put her hands over her ears, trying to ignore him. Suddenly, a huge hand grabbed her hair, and yanked her up. The girl screamed. She opened her eyes, and saw him standing there, with an enraged look on his face. "There you are," the man slurred, his breath stunk of sewage. He clenched his fist. Gemma awoke. She got out of bed, putting on her thick dressing gown. Downstairs, Gemma heard her parents in the kitchen, while Mother prepared breakfast. Being a Saturday, Mum always cooked a fry-up for her father, as he'd worked hard all week, and enjoyed it at the weekend. She and Mum liked to eat more healthily, usually a bowl of cereal would suffice. Next week was her 16th birthday. She couldn't wait. Father had promised her something special. She loved him so much. The girl wept for ages, once he'd left. She sat on a chair near to a mirror. She was too scared to look at herself, in case there were more bruises, which he would blame her for, after he'd sobered up. Once she'd found enough courage, the girl of 6 peered at her reflection. 2 dark bruises were observed, one on her forehead, and another below her left eye. "Why, Daddy, why?" she cried, thinking of her mum, and wishing she was still there. From the bedroom, next to hers, loud snoring was heard. On the landing, Gemma peered at all the photos on the wall, of her family. Such happy memories. She felt so lucky to have them. Her older brother had recently moved out, to attend university. A few years ago, he'd suffered from bad anxiety, but had now overcome it. Gemma was so proud of him. It had been hard, for them both. If it wasn't for Mum and Dad, things could have been so much different. A knock from the front door made the child jump out of fright. Who could that be? Daddy was still asleep in the adjoining room. As quietly as she could, the girl crept to the top of the stairs on the landing, then carefully made her way down. Once she'd reached the bottom, another loud knock was heard. Nervously, the child walked to it, getting hold of the handle and opening the heavy door. Her daddy always forgot to lock it, after being in the pub. In front of her was a tall man in a uniform. Beside him was a neighbor. The woman looked at the child, clearly upset, then asked, "What happened to your face, sweetheart?" The girl knew she couldn't say anything, as she would get in trouble with her dad. When the policeman entered the house, he found a boy of 8, unconscious in the living room. He called 999. After the father had been arrested, the girl stayed with the woman, for the foreseeable future. A few months later, a foster family gave the children a loving home. The father went to prison for a very long time. When Gemma entered the kitchen area, she was surprised to see a big pink cake on the dinner table. She laughed, not understanding what was going on. "Mum, Dad, it's not my birthday until next week." Her parents smiled. Her dad said, a little teary-eyed, "I know you was only a young girl when you and your brother came to us, 10 years ago, on this day. But the moment you entered our lives, all I'm trying to say is, me and Mum love you very much, and we couldn't be prouder. Mum made you a special cake on this anniversary, because we are so thankful." Gemma ran to them and hugged them tightly. "And I love you too, Mum and Dad." The end.